Betty and Veronica, The Ugly Truth is a hardcover book published in 2007. Originally, it was published as Betty and Veronica Digest 124. I don't know why they picked this particular digest to reprint in book format, but it's admittedly nice to not see ads after every single comic. There are 14 stories. Except for the first one, they're all 5 or 6 pages long. There's also 3 pinup pages of the girls in various outfits. In the first story, Veronica's dad doesn't pay attention to her because he's so busy working and making silly puns. He says he makes about $2,000 an hour, which adds up to $17 million a year. In case you're wondering how rich the lodges are. I was wondering that, it's good to know. Veronica convinces her dad to go to a father-daughter softball game at the park. Even though her team loses, Veronica feels like a winner because Dad is finally spending time with her. Next, Archie and Betty go to a dance club with a country western theme. Archie is clumsy. He bumps into so many people, he gets kicked out. Next, Veronica's driver's license is taken away because it has a typo. Betty and Veronica struggle mightily to get Veronica to pass a written driver's test in order to get her new license. In the joke ending, her new license also has a typo. The fourth story is the one the book is named after. In The Ugly Truth, Betty and Veronica complain that Archie is a selfish jerk, and he's pretty ugly, with those giant eyebrows and tic-tac-toe hair. The girls realize they both love Archie, despite his many flaws. In the last panel, Archie thinks the girls legitimately like his good looks and personality. The joke is that he has no idea the girls think he's an ugly jerk, which is a surprisingly mean-spirited joke to end the comic on. Next, everyone mistakenly thinks Betty is rich. She doesn't like it when strangers are nice to her and give her things for free. Wow, gee, that sounds so terrible, Betty. Veronica falls on the floor laughing because Betty prefers being poor. Next, Betty lists silly inventions, like a cuckoo clock that looks like your girlfriend, and skis built for two. Next, Betty and Veronica climb a mountain to get advice from a wise man. He advises them to take the cable car up the mountain instead of climbing. Next, a popular boy band from the WB is coming to town. They're called O-Town, but at one point a character calls them Hoot and the Blowfish, so maybe the band changed their name halfway through. Betty can't go to the concert because she's on the rescue squad. The girls feel sorry for Betty until they learn rescue squad members get prime seating at the concert. So was Betty lying when she said she couldn't go to the concert? Anyway, there's a joke ending where Midge and Veronica rush to volunteer for the rescue squad so they can get better seats. Next, Veronica has no way to contact Archie when her plans change unexpectedly. This story should not exist. Veronica should have a cell phone. That would easily allow her to call Archie and tell him about the change in plans. Next, Veronica has an absolute meltdown when she makes fashion errors. She has lipstick and stockings in the wrong shade. Betty covers for Veronica by saying she's starting a new fashion trend. Next, Betty can't find an invitation to Veronica's party. She chases the lost letter all over town, searching through thousands of letters at the recycling plant. I easily guessed the joke ending, where it turns out Betty never got the letter to begin with. Next, Archie accidentally slams a door in Veronica's face. She chips a tooth and develops a lisp. Veronica is embarrassed, especially when she's asked to make a speech. Archie covers for her. Veronica's so grateful, she forgets the whole thing is his fault to begin with. Finally, Betty babysits a genius kid who has a robot and a force field. Betty asks Dylan the genius for help with the kid. Instead of stopping the brat, Dylan makes friends with him. Those are all the stories of the book. They're okay. I didn't think any of them were that great. The 3 I liked best were the driver's license story, the fashion meltdown story, and the story of the girls insulting Archie nonstop. Since this is a book, I was expecting a little more than a simple reprint of old comics picked at random. It'd be better if the book had a theme of some sort. As it is, a copy of this book costs almost exactly the same as a copy of the original paperback digest. So, really, the only differences between the two versions are one has ads while the other has a hardcover. I give Betty and Veronica The Ugly Truth a 4.6 out of 10. I got that score by giving each story 1, 0, or zero point 0.5 points. I added them up, then divided by 14 to get the average score per story.